They had seconds to decide, not minutes, not hours. Just a heartbeat separating life and death. One syringe, two bodies. Erwin Smith, the man who led humanity's charge with unwavering resolve, and Armin Arlert, the boy who dreamed of the sea. This wasn't just a choice between two soldiers. It was the moment that changed the entire fate of the world. And what if I told you they may have made the wrong one? The flames still burned when Levi held the syringe. Aaron's fists clenched. Mikasa screamed. The weight of their emotions cracked through the chaos. Erwin lay crushed, his final breath spent leading a suicide charge. Armin's charred body barely clung to life, his sacrifice having just bought humanity a narrow opening. Both paid everything, but only one could return. On paper, Erwin was the obvious choice. Humanity's greatest leader, tactical genius, the man who could manipulate fear, hope, and soldiers alike to win wars no one else dared to fight. He wasn't just a commander, he was a symbol, a light in the void, the one who screamed "Advance" even when hope was gone. And yet, Levi hesitated. Because beneath that indomitable facade, Levi saw something the others didn't. He saw a man ready to die. You see, Erwin's dream wasn't peace. It wasn't freedom. It was truth. Ever since he was a boy, he was haunted by one question. What was his father trying to tell him? What secrets lay beyond the walls? He marched thousands to their deaths, chasing that answer. And when he finally stood at the edge of it, Levi saw it in his eyes. The fatigue, the regret, the desperate hope that his death would mean something. Maybe Erwin was already gone long before the beast titan struck him down. Armin, on the other hand, had never been chosen. Always the smallest. Always the weakest. But never the quietest. He questioned everything. He saw the world not just as it was, but as it could be. While others trained for battle, Armin read, learned, dreamed. And it was that dream that lit the fire in Aaron. That made Mikasa fight harder. That inspired the scouts to believe they could see the ocean someday. Armin never wanted to be a hero. He wanted to see what lay beyond. And yet, in that moment, when it mattered most, it was Armin who gave everything. Who stood firm against Bertholdt's colossal flames. Who refused to step back. That wasn't weakness. That was resolve. The kind of resolve you don't learn from orders. The kind that's born when you love something bigger than yourself. Levi saw that too. Not just who Armin was, but who he could become. Still, the backlash was immediate. Fans raged, critics questioned. How could you sacrifice a legend for a boy? They asked. How could you let Erwin die? But here's the thing no one wants to admit. Sometimes the hardest choice is the right one. Levi didn't save Armin because he was better. He saved him because Erwin had already given everything. Because Armin still had something to give. And in the seasons that followed, Armin struggled. He didn't become Erwin overnight. He doubted. He broke. He faltered. But he also rose. He used his mind in impossible situations. He learned what it meant to carry the weight of command. And when the time came to speak with the power of a god, it wasn't Erwin's charisma that won the world. It was Armin's humanity. That's the truth people miss. Erwin was a leader born of war. Armin was a leader born of peace. And when you're fighting monsters, you need a monster slayer. But when the monsters are gone and all that left are the scars, they don't need swords. They need someone who believes the world can still be healed. Someone who remembers the dream. But there's one more twist. One more shadow in this already tragic choice. What if Levi hadn't been swayed by emotion? What if he chose Erwin? Would Paradis have survived the diplomatic minefield that followed? Would Eren have still fallen into darkness? Would Erwin have stopped the rumbling, or used it? It's a terrifying thought. Because Erwin, brilliant as he was, knew sacrifice. He lived it. But maybe he'd grown numb to it too. And that's where Armin mattered most. Because when the final question came, do we destroy the world to save our own? Armin hesitated. He felt the weight of every child, every dream, every innocent voice on the other side of the ocean. And that hesitation, that heartbreak, that was the last thread of humanity left in Eren's circle. The final reminder that even in war, there are lines you don't cross. Armin couldn't stop Eren, but he never stopped trying to reach him. That's the kind of strength Erwin might have lost. So now we circle back. One syringe, two bodies. A battlefield soaked in blood and choice. Levi chose Armin not because he was the strongest, but because he was the one who could live with the weight of the future. Erwin had led the old world. Armin would have to lead the new. Still think it was an easy choice? Or maybe you're starting to see why it had to be made. But here's the real cliffhanger. Armin's journey isn't over. With the scars of war deep and the next generation rising, the final test isn't battle. It's rebuilding, diplomacy, trust, forgiveness. Can the boy who dreamed of the sea lead a world drowning in hatred? That's the final arc, and only time will reveal whether Levi made the right call or sealed humanity's fate with a whisper. Like this kind of breakdown? Then don't just watch. Subscribe to Arc Beyond, where every decision has a ripple, and every story hides a truth deeper than Titans.